back.
And I'm lamenting the fact that in today's society, you can never be 100% sure if something is satire or not.
No, you can't.
It's horrifying.
We've entered a true hell on Earth.
Where people voted for a meme president.
Meme magic is real. For all the worst.
And because he repeats things enough, people will eventually accept them as true even when they're false. Like how apparently he has the fastest...
Psychic.
Right, yeah.
Well, whatever, just finish him with a headbutt.
Like how he apparently has the fastest growing economy in U.S. history, despite the fact that Obama in his final years had a much faster growing economy. And this is verifiably true. Or, how fewer people are unemployed under Trump because the unemployment rate has fallen. However, when you actually look at it, the unemployment rate doesn't count people who have just given up, and the rate of employable adults who are employed is actually lower. It's just that more people have given up hope.
That's about correct for this day and age.
Yep.
2018 is about the year of just not giving a shit anymore.
Man, remember alternative facts? He's not lying, he's giving alternative facts. Like, for fuck's sake.
Yeah, big breaking story. Things aren't great. News at 11.
Oh man. The whole thing, though, is that,
You ever thought about the ramifications of using telepathy on an immortal duck?
No. It's immortal?
I think there was something about it being immortal so long as it has that leak, but if it loses that leak, it immediately dies.
Oh.
Or maybe I'm thinking of something else entirely.
But yeah, someone pointed out to me that a big reason why so much of America is, like, permanently red when it comes to elections, is...
Wow.
Yeah, I know, right? Swords Dance OP. Fuck.
Time to leave.
Is that...
Kill Bison?
No, I'm not gonna risk it. He has low defense. But, it's because, a lot of the U.S. Relies on shit like coal and oil for their jobs.
Yep.
And under a Democrat rule, they would lose those jobs.
Almost assuredly.
Yeah. So they don't believe in global warming because to believe in it would mean they all go jobless. They don't vote Democrat because voting Democrat would mean they all go jobless.
Yeah.
They don't believe in, like, environmentally caused lung cancer because that means they go jobless.
And get cancer.
Yep.
It's a Looney Tunes cartoon, you see. If they look down, they'll fall.
Yeah. And, for whatever reason...
It's less of a parody than I'd like that sentence to be.
And for whatever reason, they also don't want social assistance.
Yeah.
Which the Democrats would give to them.
That's mostly just because at one point or another some important authority man came up and just distilled into them the fear of the Red Menace. And now socialism is a buzzword.
Yeah.
Look, that's the gist of it. People, the biggest voting demographic is still scared of the Russian Red Phantom.
Yeah. Yeah, because young people just don't vote for whatever reason.
Apathy and incompetence.
Yeah.
Voter turnout is ludicrously low in our age demographic because there's a lot of people who think like us in that everything sucks, but unlike us who are like, well, we still gotta go out and do it, they're like, why bother?
Yeah. Turns out, though, that happens with literally every generation.
Mm-hmm.
As soon as people turn 30, they immediately start voting. And then as soon as they retire, a whole bunch of them start voting as well.
Go up. You can fight that the idea as well. I think also you can go to grass if you just go straight up.
Yeah, you're right, I can.
My nose is super itchy.
It's kind of funny. Like, there are specific points where people immediately start to care about politics. And it's when they're collecting Social Security and when they start to typically pick up a real career. Before that, though, they just don't care.
I mean, that's general human nature. You don't care about a thing until it immediately affects you.
Yeah, until you are getting taxed, you don't care about the tax rates.
Yeah.
And as soon as you are receiving Social Security, suddenly you care about how people without jobs are treated.
Mm-hmm.
I still think the baby boomers are going to fuck us over one last time and drive us into a massive debt in order to give themselves bigger pensions.
I wouldn't be shocked. Which is funny because they already fucked over their own pensions for immediate gains, which they then pissed away.
Yeah. Well, that was the whole deal with Social Security. The whole idea behind it is that people will fuck themselves over in the long term for short-term gain. So the government had to start mandating savings by taking money away from people and then giving it back to them when they retire. That way they have fewer homeless old people to deal with.
Yeah, everybody wins, in theory.
Yeah, in theory. In Canada, we actually don't appear to be borrowing against Social Security, which is good, but in the United States, it seems that they are doing that relentlessly. Which is incredibly horrifying. That the money is just not going to be there when the people go to start claiming it. And, I mean, what are they going to do? Just tax young people into oblivion or go further into debt?
Yeah, here's the big joke, though. Too many young people don't have a job.
I know, right?
Yeah.
I seriously
This
think
house of cards is getting shaky.
Plus, I know in Canada we used to have a mandatory retirement age, which we got rid of so that the people who frittered away their life savings can now continue to work for longer, which is...
The unfortunate thing is it's actually eating up jobs now that the mandatory retirement age is gone. The people who would normally be vacating seats are no longer vacating seats whether or not they need to.
Right.
Because there's a certain group of people who are like, well, I want to still work, but you have the money to retire, and that job could go to someone who is presently flipping burgers, but I want this job. Well, also that person flipping burgers is lazy. He should have my job. Well, why don't you get out of your job? No.
Yeah, pretty much. I think there's going to be a huge thing that happens when, like...
The last of the people with job experience dies.
Yeah.
We need someone with job experience. They're all dead. Well, why don't you have job experience? Because he just died. Well, that worked out.
Man, I thought that was totally gonna, like, whiff.
Oof. But then it did the opposite.
Yep. Anyway, I really think there's... Like, we reached the point just a little while ago. I think it was in 2015, where the number of people under 15 is now smaller than the number of people over 65. So
yeah, I've seen a lot of articles. They're just like, you know, baby boomer generation is having, or not baby. What is that? What's ours? We're millennials.
Yeah, we're Gen Y. Millennials.
Yeah, millennials. It's like millennials are having less kids because we don't have jobs, and we can't afford kids. And we were at that age. Well, fuck us, I guess. We were at that age where they started telling us, hey, you know what sucks? Raising a kid with no money. See. It's kind of this hilarious thing where they gave us all the advantages, but combined together, it completely fucked up. It's this hilarious disaster where we're smart enough to understand... Huh.
I was not expecting that.
I didn't know you could catch that outside of the mansion.
Neither did I.
Well, fair enough.
To be honest, this is kind of the worst case scenario.
I don't know, you paralyzed him before you could do anything about it.
No, but I mean like for Pokemon to catch.
Till you fight Lance.
Yeah. God fucking damn it.
Well, there you go. I guess in Gen 1 you can paralyze electric types. They straight up took that away later.
Well, shit. This is an interesting turn of events. I honestly kind of forgot about Ditto.
Thundershock him?
No.
I mean, I didn't forget about... I did not know he was here.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, well, that helped out.
I was gonna quick attack him, but now it's too risky.
Well, there you go.
I don't even know what to call him.
Transformers.
Transmutate.
Ditto is straight up useless in this generation too, because like you can't even use them to clone with.
Can't use them to what?
How do you say? You can't whore them out.
Oh yeah, you can't put them out to stud to transmutate. You can't put them out to stud to breed with literally every other Pokemon.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Which is the only way to get, what's the name of that?
Manaphy?
Yeah.
Or something?
Yeah, there's that one, the only legendary Pokemon in existence that can apparently breed.
And it doesn't reproduce itself. It reproduces a smaller, slightly weaker version of itself that can't evolve.
It's very confusing.
I know, right? Man, Ditto must have some really fucked up STDs.
He has all of them.
Exactly. And just think
Actually,
about the kind
what
of
would be
diseases
the...
that affect Pokemon.
I was gonna... Pokerus?
I mean, yeah.
Well, I was gonna say... Can one infect a Ditto with anything when he could just transform himself into a creature that's immune from the virus?
I mean... maybe. I've only had Pokerus one time in a Pokemon game before.
I did too, and then I kept it on a single Pokemon that I kept in my box, which I would put into the party, infect the party, and then immediately put him back in the box so that he wouldn't lose it.
Honestly, what I did is when I was gonna go and like sell off the game to someone,
Yeah.
I infected all of my Pokemon with Pokerus, like all of them, everything in the box, and then just sent them out via Wonder Trade. I figure someone out there probably got something out of it. So, well, that, and I gave away a couple of legendaries via Wonder Trade. I figure someone must have benefited.
I mean, someone.
The worst part is, it was probably one of those assholes who sent out like a Weedle or something. Here's your fucking shitty bug.
Whenever I was gonna send stuff into Wonder Trade that was like, I just went out and caught it, I would always make sure to catch Pokemon that only evolved through trades.
Yeah.
So that at least someone got something out of it.
Yeah, like send him a choke, and
Yeah.
then suddenly it's a Machamp.
And it's like, well, at least I have this now.
I never got anything good out of Wonder Trade.
I got a few neat things, but the best I ever got was, oh god, what's that called? Shiny Noibat.
Oh, neat.
Yeah, it was cute. But it was clearly someone was trying to breed for stats, because this thing's stats were fucked.
Yeah, at one point I got an Eevee that had near perfect IVs.
This one had like 3 out of 5 perfect IVs, but it's, I don't do competitive, so I just did not care. But according to Colin, who looked it over, he was like, yeah, its personality and trait are completely fucked. He's like, you know, it's got all these great stats going on for it, but on competitive terms, it's completely fucked. And I was like,
Like, not completely fucked. It's impossible to make a Pokemon terrible when you're that
suboptimal.
Yeah. In fact, a lot of people who want to start breeding Pokemon would kill for that Pokemon.
Yeah. And I was just like, yeah, it's good enough for me. It was shiny and it was a Noibat, and I think Noibat is one of my favorite newer gen Pokemon that ever came out.
Yeah, I like Noibat too.
Because it is a dragon and a bat. And those are two things that I personally enjoy. What are we looking for?
I'm trying to switch it, but I accidentally hit stats. Yeah, I think Noibat's pretty sweet too.
Yeah, he's cute. And then Noivern is just cool.
Yeah, I love Noivern. Oh man, I think Goodra was my favorite of the XY generation though.
I used to like Goodra, and then it kept showing up on my favorite porn sites, and I was like, I'm
God.
getting tired of this.
I just liked Goodra because I created a weird tank build and I fucked over Wesley with it a couple of times.
Oh man.
Like, I built a rain team around the Goodra.
Oh yeah, because keep going straight. Because Goodra had some weird thing in rain. Oh yeah, didn't it like souped up its evasion or something?
No, it shedded status effects in rain.
Ah, that was it.
So of course I gave it rest. So at the end of every turn it would just wake up.
So it was pretty much recover.
Yeah, it was a 100% recover.
That would also get rid of status effects.
That would also get rid of status... Well, it would already shed its status effects.
Yeah, but...
If for some reason the rain turned off, it would still lose its status effects. It was bullshit. I only ever beat Wesley a couple of times, and I think...
I know Wesley had a shit time against weather teams, because I used to fuck with him with a Sandstorm team.
Oh boy, I hate Sandstorm teams so much.
Because it was great, because he was just like, yeah, and I'm like, I use a Sand Slash, and he laughed, and then it was like, Sand Slash is evasion. Evasion. Doubles in Sandstorms.
There's a reason that ability is banned in most competitive leagues.
Hey, so what's the evasion stat of my Sand Slash? 120. And then, oh god, yeah. So my entire team was just rocks, grounds, and grounds, and steel. Oh, good times.
I always kind of wanted to make a Hail team, despite the fact that they're objectively bad.
Sunny Day team is super good.
Oh god, I actually did run Sunny Day.
Sunny D. I'm alright with this name.
I ran a Sunny Day team for a while that had Mega Charizard Y.
Yep.
And my big anchor was actually a Venusaur that had Chlorophyll, because I managed to luck into one of those.
Oh, that's good.
And,
oh man, I remember fighting someone's rain team, and it was all Pokemon with dry skin, and it was just the most arduous thing.
Because they kept healing back up?
Yep. Oh god. Until I noticed one of his Pokemon was Parasect, and then it was just like, I have a fire move.
Yeah.
Ooh boy.
Well, that was one of the reasons rain teams were so good, because fire is such a good offensive type.
Yeah.
Like, everyone has a couple of fire moves on their team.
It's because fire moves are pretty fire moves are really spread out in that, like, I think the most types can still learn fire moves.
Mm-hmm. That, and they counter a lot of really good defensive types, like Steel.
And Plant.
Yep.
Which tanks better than most expect.
Oh man, actually, one time, I lost against Wesley in this battle, but his first Pokemon, I forget what it was.
Actually, you know what? We'll have to restart the story in a second. We'll see you next time, folks.
Okay.